If you would like to choose the next keyword for our next Am I the Asshole post, type the word candy. Rage Fishy, what's our keyword? Rage. Deaf? Deaf is our word? Interesting. Okay. Oh, yeah, fear. Oh, fear. Because I'm a deaf person. Okay. Here we go. Am I the asshole for telling everyone exactly why I'm getting divorced? My ex and I have one child together. We found out during pregnancy that our child would be deaf and wouldn't qualify for the surgery that some deaf people are able to get due to a combination of problems. While the external issue is a fluke, the internal issue is apparently something that I always had a 25% chance of passing down to a child. Not to toot my own horn, but once I learned this, I made an effort to start connecting with the deaf community in my area and learned ASL. He did not, and while he stayed for the birth, he moved in with his brother right after dropping me off at my home. I own the house and did before I met him, so it's not part of the divorce. He was nice enough to give me 2 months worth of a cleaning service and a gift card to Grubhub. He ended up telling everyone that I am the reason he doesn't see our child and that I filed for divorce because I overreacted. The truth is that I have sole custody because he cried in court that he couldn't deal with the baby and wanted to just pay support. While I did file, it was because he abandoned me and said so many horrible things that I couldn't get over. I have text messages he sent me which say that he wouldn't have married me if he knew that we would produce problems. And that he couldn't handle raising an R slur. The only thing wrong with her is her hearing. I don't want my child to grow up in a home where she's hated. I was starting to hear all sorts of crap from my family and his, who started to take his side because divorce isn't really a thing here, so I took action. I made a social media post publishing the text messages so that people would finally see the truth. I'm now getting calls and messages for, quote unquote, making a private issue public and, quote, parental alienation. Am I the asshole? No! Fucking eat shit, you bigoted motherfucking piece of shit! Oh no, your actions have consequences. Oh no, everyone's gonna know exactly and truthfully how much of a piece of fucking shit you are. Wet, noodle, moldy ass, crusty, unwashed ass asshole. Fuck you, fuck your whole family. You all suck so bad. Yeah, literally, like he made it public first. He was the one spreading all these lies, trying to make him look better. He literally asked for this. He quite literally asked for this. 100%. If you would like to choose our next keyword, type the word vampire. 3, 2, 1. The next winner is by Pagan Man. Interesting. Okay. Am I the asshole for faking sleeping all night to see if my wife is lying? Remember, we got here by searching the word cat. Just the word cat. The past couple of months, my wife has been complaining about our cats. She's been claiming that the cats wake her up constantly and that she's frustrated every night that she, quote, has to get up and open the door for the cats, or, quote, the cats keep making noises, or, quote, the cats keep jumping on her. It got to the point where she started saying she wants me to get rid of them. I told her I've never seen or heard any of this, but she claims I sleep through it all. She kept telling me that she was getting less and less sleep and kept acting aggressive, blaming lack of sleep from the cats, and that if I didn't get rid of them, she'd leave me. I legitimately started considering giving the cats to my sister until I noticed something. One morning, she claimed she had gotten up multiple times throughout the night to help the cats. She listed a bunch of times. I thought it was weird because I had been up until 4 a.m. And she claimed that she got up at 1 a.m. to close the door for them, and a few times around 3 a.m. because they were meowing and jumping on her. I was in the bedroom the entire time while she slept, and I know none of that happened. Things weren't adding up, so I decided to run a test. I waited until she said she was going to bed. Then I let the cats out of our bedroom, lowered my phone brightness, and faked going to sleep. I just laid there in bed the entire night, bored, but I definitely did not fall asleep. I made sure to make timestamps every 30 minutes on my phone through Discord just to be sure. I marked down every noise my cats made. One cat had jumped down from something and made a little sound at 3:18 a.m. and one ate food relatively quietly by the bedroom door at 4:57 a.m. Other than that, nothing happened. Sure enough, my wife slept from 11 p.m. until 9 a.m. And that morning she claimed she had woken up at least 7 times to open doors and from cat noises and cats jumping on her. At this point, I was pissed because she was clearly lying to me. I was exhausted and fed up with the lies, so I just bluntly called her out on it. I told her, "That's funny, I stayed up all night to monitor the cats, and they weren't even in the room at all last night. I have timestamps and everything, so you've been lying to me and trying to convince me to get rid of my cats. Why?" She just sat there quietly, shaking and looking pissed, then got up and left without answering. She came back hours later and ignored me whenever I talked. And when I asked her how I'm the bad guy in this situation, she finally said that I was treating her like a child by lying about sleeping and staying up all night just to see if she was lying or not. And that making timestamps and everything as if I were an investigator was going too far and makes me an obsessive asshole. I did it because she was threatening to make me get rid of my cats or she'd leave me, and her claims didn't add up. So, am I an obsessive asshole? Update. My wife has been Baker acted. She did not hurt herself, just said something concerning in public. Baker acted meaning she has mental stuff going on. Florida mental health. Oh, involuntarily committed to a psychiatric facility. Oh, I got a call from the hospital this morning asking me to head over for some quote family therapy. Apparently she finally wanted to talk. I'll be honest, I'm pretty pissed at the reason why she's been so hateful towards my cats. It's absolutely asinine. It's nothing that anyone had suggested. She's not cheating. She's not sick physically or mentally. She's not bored of the relationship or looking for a quote unquote out. According to her, one of the cats stepped on her laptop and ruined a story she was writing. She's hated both cats ever since. I mean, that sucks, but it's not worth trying to emotionally blackmail me to get rid of them. I asked her why she didn't just tell me the truth and why she'd been lying and refused to talk about it when I'd ask. Her answer was, "Because you wouldn't have gotten rid of them otherwise," and explained that when she saw I wasn't willing to abandon them for her, she took offense and made it a quote unquote goal to have me pick her over them. Sickening. Don't know why she actually admitted to it at all. The woman with us asked me how I felt about all of it, and I just told the truth. I told her it was a nice run, but I'm probably going to want a divorce. I was asked why, and I told them. I've seen a new, hateful, malicious side of her that I want nothing to do with. She was so set on getting rid of the cats over a fan fiction being ruined that she manipulated her husband. My wife started shouting at me that I've betrayed her, that I'm quote unquote scum for choosing animals over her. At least cats don't give ultimatums like she gave. It sucks that she's been Baker acted and all, I guess, but it's for the best right now. She'll have some time to process it all in a safe environment and hopefully come to terms with it. Bad husband, I know. I'm almost sure I'm getting a divorce. I'm very worried about having her in the same house as my cats. I want my cats safe. I don't want to worry about them being harmed or disappearing. Screw that. I guess I'll do what almost all of you suggested, keep the cats, rehome the wife. Not how I wanted it to end, but life isn't always nice. If I may, I want to clear up some things from the original post. I did not stare at her all night. We have a mute TV with subtitles playing every night. I subtly watch TV while paying attention to cat sounds. I'm not allowed to install cat doors, and she won't let me keep the doors open. Apartment rules. Why did I instantly assume she was lying? I'm unfamiliar with mental health diseases. I know about some diseases, but ones that make you think your dreams happened, tumors that make you see, hear, remember non-existent things. Sorry that I wasn't aware of these possibilities. So when someone tells me events happened when they literally didn't, I generally assume they're lying. Shame on me. If you want even more context/questions answered, simply go through my comment history. People really try to decide what the person kicking cats out. Right. Like definition of gaslighting and manipulative. I don't think that OP is at fault in any way. We've got Senster. Senzi, what do you got? Restaurant. Unfortunately, my face journey probably gave it way the fuck away. However, am I the asshole for punishing my son after he said something racist? I think all the people going for the gamble payout are gonna feel incredibly bad after I read the first 2 sentences. About a week ago, my 39 female family ordered Chinese food for delivery. When the delivery driver came to the door, my daughter, 16 female, was taking the cat upstairs to put in her room because he always tries to eat the food. My son, 13 male, loudly says, "Make sure to hide the cat from the Chinese guy." As I am at the door getting the food from the Chinese delivery driver, he very obviously heard what my son said and was upset by it. I quickly apologized and took the food. I told my son that racist jokes were completely unacceptable and very wrong, and he refused to admit that he was in the wrong. So later that night, I forced my son to write a sincere apology to the delivery driver. His name was on the receipt, as well as write a 1-page paper on Chinese culture and a 1-page paper on why racism is perpetuated by racist jokes and stereotypes. Okay. Good fucking parenting. All right. Then the next day I took him to the restaurant and had him read his apology aloud to the delivery driver, as well as give him the papers he wrote. The driver was very appreciative of the apology and thanked me for making my son do it. He then told my son about multiple instances where he has faced racist comments and attacks from people while he was a delivery driver. What a good fucking experience for this privileged ass teenager. That night, my husband, 43M, and I got into an argument about me making our son do this. He told me that it was embarrassing for our son to have to do the apology and the quote-unquote punishment doesn't fit the crime. I told him that it was much more embarrassing for the driver to have to face that kind of racism and racist stereotypes, and that our son would get over the embarrassment. I do not condone any kind of hateful thinking in my house, and the fact that my son said that embarrassed me as well. My husband told me that it was just a joke and it wasn't that big of a deal. I feel like I might have overreacted some, but I think it's important to help my son understand how what he said was wrong and hurtful. Throw this man not only in the trash, but in the fucking wood chipper. Holy fuck. You deserve to be embarrassed if you say some heinously racist ass shit to someone. It is the absolute least you deserve is embarrassment. Because it's a fucking embarrassing thing to say or think or do. Fuck you. You are literally the reason this shit is perpetuated. You are the reason it needed to be taught in the fucking first place. The fact that they wrote a paper about jokes perpetuating racism and then the husband coming back and saying it's just a joke, you are the problem. You are quite literally why this is still happening, you fucking ignorant piece of shit. So that's the restaurant post. All right, new post. Let's go. Let's keep diving. Kerfluffle, what do we got? What's our next keyword? Diet Coke. Okay. All right. New Dickie going live. Am I the asshole for refusing to pay $45 for a soda and half of an appetizer? Last weekend, one of my friends organized a group of people to go do fall things. We rented a van and went to a few breweries/wineries. When we got back, we stopped at a pub to hang a bit before going home. There were about 12 of us, so they seated us at a table. People ordered foods and drinks. When the check came, one of the guys quickly gave his card after signing, looked around and said, "Okay, everyone Venmo me $45. You are the person that every single person hates at group excursions. You're the worst kind of person. You took advantage of an outing with friends to try and make money. This threw me off because many people had ordered meals, sides, drinks, and shots. I had ordered a Diet Coke. I had to drive 1.5 hours home and shared an appetizer with my husband. I asked if we could each Venmo him for what we ordered, and he seemed annoyed. He sent everyone a pic of the receipt and had everyone Venmo him for what they got. For context, I'm fine splitting the bill evenly when everyone orders roughly the same thing. But also, if I ever put my card down, I always ask everyone if they want to split it evenly or not. Not just assume. My husband thinks I'm being cheap and should have just split the bill with everyone. I know I'm more money conscious than others, so I'm wondering if I'm the asshole. Edit. We were expected to pay $90, including tax and tip, for me and my husband. Since my husband did have a drink and a shot in addition to what I had, our total actual we ended up paying came out to $53, including tax and tip. So he wanted them to pay $45 each for OP and her husband. Oh yeah. He didn't ask, he just assumed and then tried to make people pay far more than their share. I don't think so. Yeah, that doesn't math. That doesn't math at all. If you'd like to choose the next keyword for Am I the Asshole post searching, type fanfic into the chat. 3, 2, 1, and the winner is being the guy, baby. Being the guy, baby. I don't know, I forgot the thing one. How about lamp? Lamp is the keyword. Am I the asshole for mocking my brother for getting rejected by his dream college that I got into because he keeps tormenting me over it? My brother Jake, 18 male, and I, 17 female, had the same dream college, H University. Hole Inspector University! You know, I'm calling it Hole Inspector University now. Also, in case you're confused by the ages, we're 1.5 years apart, but I skipped a grade, so we're in the same grade for nearly our entire life. Jake was way more passionate about Hole Inspector University than I was, and kind of just assumed he was going there. For example, in conversations, he'd say things like, "Once I'm at Hole U," or "After I get to Hole U, my plan is." Basically, his life plan rested on him getting into HIU. Jake and I got along pretty well, but we'd sometimes give each other advice or study together. However, during college application season, he got super competitive once he realized I was also applying to Hole Inspector University. He'd refuse to study together, look over each other's essays, and he'd constantly tell me to not even bother applying. Then decisions came out and we opened them at the same time. I was accepted and he was rejected. Jake had a massive panic attack, and instead of celebrating my acceptance with my family, I sat in my room all day because Jake would get furious when he saw me. I once even caught him trying to unlock my laptop to decline my offer, since his friend DM'd me to warn that he had been talking about doing that. My parents obviously punished him for that, which made it so much worse. When my Home Inspector sweatshirt came in, he screamed at me for quote-unquote showing off when I just put it in my closet. He told so many people that I only got in because I was a girl and that Hole Inspector University mixed the siblings up. Honestly, I felt bad for him because I would be crushed too if I were him. Every time I tried to get him to stop, it got worse. So I kept tolerating it. I thought it'd get better after the summer once college actually started. It has not. Now it's really set in that he's going to a good, in my opinion, state school and not Hole Inspector University. His anger is largely compounded by the fact that he's going to the same college that he used to condescend other students about aiming for. My classes start soon, so I've been setting up in our study, which I share with Jake. Both of our rooms are tiny with no room to study in, so we share a study with 2 desks that face away from each other. Jake cleared out my whole desk and broke my lamp in the process. Broken lamp revenge. You are absolutely right, chat room. You are absolutely right. He says that I need to study in my room so he can use the study without distractions for his classes. We've always both worn headphones. There's literally no distraction. He just doesn't want to see me taking classes at Hole Inspector University. I'm so fucking done. I just want to be proud that I got into this college and actually learn shit without my brother screaming at me about it. Where I might be the asshole. We got into an argument, and I told him that of course he got rejected since Hole Inspector University didn't take toddlers. It's true, we are an 18+ community. I've also been wearing my Hole Inspector sweatshirt around the house constantly, which he gets angry about. He kept bothering me, so I superglued Hole Inspector rejection letters in the drawers of his desk, so he has to see them when he opens them. After reading what you did, everyone sucks here. This is escalating. Where are your parents in all of this? For college-bound kids, you both need to grow up. OP responds, yeah, valid, I was being a dick. My parents don't want to get involved and think we need to settle it between ourselves. Wet noodle parents? Parent your fucking kids? If need be, they'll separate us in our rooms and talk to us, mom to Jake, dad to me. Staying away from each other isn't really possible when you live in the same house, though. Dad usually says things like, just tolerate it. Your brother is hurting right now, but it will get better once milestone in a few months from the talk. Bad. Bad father. Wet noodle husband. Wet noodle husband again. Wet noodle husband. I am in the camp of everyone sucks here, though. That, the super gluing the rejection letters to the bottom of his desk, that's fucked. Yeah, everyone sucks here, but honestly, the parents are the biggest assholes. I agree, yeah. The parents refusing to step in to do anything, that's fucked. I mean, it is kind of funny considering how awful the brother is treating OP, but it's still a dick thing to do, you know? Right, Kerfuffle. Jake is hurting, so it's fine that he hurts everyone else around him. Just deal with it. Shut the fuck up. Man the fuck up, grow a fucking spine, and punish your son for being a fucking asshole. If you would like to choose the final keyword for today's episode of Hole Inspector, type the word hoodie. What's our keyword, Alex? What we got? What we searching? The final hole post. It's the final hole. Privilege. Ooh. Am I the asshole for asking mom's boyfriend to stop trying to parent me? My dad died suddenly about a year ago, and my mom found this really nice guy that she started seeing. I'm 23 male and going into my final year of college. 23 years old. 23. My mom's boyfriend has 2 daughters, ages 15 and 13. My mom has stepped in to be a mother figure to them, and the boyfriend has stepped into my extended family, becoming everyone's favorite uncle. And while I'm glad everyone else is comfortable, I'm not. He isn't a bad guy. I'm just still grieving my father, and it feels like he's trying to replace him. He tries to set rules for me, things like chores and curfew, that my dad specifically didn't because he thought they were ridiculous for an adult. Chores and curfew. He's 23 years old. Boyfriend thinks it's only fair because I have siblings now. I think it's ridiculous to have the same rules apply because of our age differences. He's trying to get me to share my stuff with his kids. They aren't lacking for anything, but he thinks it's only fair because family. I live in the basement of my mom's house. I have since I was 15. When you come to the front door, there's a door to the basement and the stairs go into the house, so it's pretty separate. Last night, I was designated drivering for some friends and got home at 2 a.m. I had nothing to do until 3 p.m. today since classes aren't until next week and my new job starts in 2 weeks, so this has never been a big deal with my parents. I shot my mom a text and went to bed. Tonight though, man, boyfriend flipped. I got a lecture and sent to my room and quote unquote possible loss of car privileges. Brother man, he is 23 years old. He is 23 and graduating college. Fuck you mean lots of car privileges? I snapped and laid it out for him. I told him that I'm leaving the city after I graduate. I told him I'm glad my mom found a new partner, but that I am not and will not be looking for a new father figure, and he needs to respect that. I told him that our relationship won't be a father/son for some time, and that he needs to respect me as an adult, or that I won't have a relationship with him. He told my family, and they think I'm the asshole. No, this man is so far beyond overreaching his authority. It's baffling. There's an edit at the beginning that I didn't read because I wanted to save for the end of it, just in case it was just that much more baffling. The edit says, the boyfriend doesn't live with us and doesn't pay rent or bills. Him and his daughters spend time here and pay only for their food, something that I do as well. He doesn't even fucking live there. He wants children to order around, right? He seems very much like the I'm your dad now, you have to listen to me. I'm your elder, you have to listen to me. Very much like a, I have to exert control over you as your stepdad. And like, I'm gonna command respect from you through authority. And that's a great way to never get talked to again. Time to check and see what Beef is up to on our perfectly normal street.